there's a great Chicago scholar come journalist called Stephanie Farmer who's done this great work, which I rely on in the book about this, where she looked at Morgan Stanley, its asset management arm, Morgan Stanley Infrastructure Partners, again about 10, 15 years ago. It led two major investments in parking infrastructure, one of which was the city's parking meter system, so the meters around the whole city, and the other one was parking garages around the city. They put out these 70 or 99-year contracts where the bidder would take on the job of managing those infrastructures, the parking infrastructures, but also earning the money paid by the parkers. And so Morgan Stanley brought these on. Lo and behold, Chicago, within the space of a few years, went from being one of the cheapest places in America to park to being the most expensive place in the country to park. Not surprising, given that that's the pure interest of these asset managers. But the thing that was particularly interesting about that Farmer found was that the way that the contracts were written between the city and Morgan Stanley were very, very restrictive on the city in terms of what it could or could not do in the future. So, for example, if the city, because it wanted to have a street festival or something, wanted to, if running a street festival meant that 2 or 3 parking meters or however many it was couldn't be used for a few days, it had to provide compensation of a particular amount that was written into the contract to Morgan Stanley for those parking meters being taken out of commission. And what Farmer shows in his really clever way is that basically the way in which the city of Chicago came to plan its urban fabric over the next decade or so was massively shaped and constrained by this ridiculous contract that it got into. It didn't allow itself to do certain things, like things that were beneficial to cyclists, like opening up cycling lanes around the city, because it would end up having to make these payments to Morgan Stanley that were written into this contract.